my name's Brianna and I'm the manager of the SDA Intake team at MS Queensland. And my team's purpose is to help customers and their informal and formal support networks understand and navigate the housing pathway with NDIS. SDA is Specialist Disability Accommodation, and it's a term that refers to both the built environment but also the funding that you receive from the NDIS in order to live in Specialist Disability Accommodation. NDIA have advised that around 6% of customers with NDIS plan will be eligible for Specialist Disability Accommodation. The legislation refers to having either an extreme functional impairment or requiring very high support needs in order to qualify for this purpose-built accommodation. SDA dwellings do need to meet the guidelines that were released by the NDIA depending on which kind of category of design they want to adhere to. There's 4 different categories. The first one being robust, which is essentially quite resilient housing that's built to keep people who might be at risk of harm to themselves or others as safe as possible. Improved livability is another design category. That one focuses on people that might have cognitive or sensory issues in order to make sensible, logical spaces that are easy to navigate that might feature things like open plan living. Fully accessible is the third design category. That's generally accommodation that's been built for people that use mobility aids in most of their day-to-day mobilising. Features things like accessible kitchens, accessible bathrooms, as well as assistive technology that might be in place to make navigating the space easier. That's things like a provision for door openers that are automatic as you approach. High Physical Supports has all of the design features of a fully accessible property, except it includes a couple of extra things, such as ceiling reinforcement for a ceiling hoist to be installed if needed, more assistive technology provision, so you might be able to independently, via voice or iPad, do things like operate your blinds and lights and air conditioner. Furthermore, it's also got backup power so that if there is a power outage, you have 2 hours in which your equipment will continue to work before that power outage can be resolved. Firstly, think about it very early. We found in our experience it does take about 10 to 12 months to have everything you need in your NDIS plan in order to move from where you are currently into Specialist Disability Accommodation. Start looking around and see what your options are and think about your preferences. Think about what location you'd like to live in, which design category sounds best to you, how many roommates you might like to have, or if you prefer to live independently. Make sure you have a good idea of where you want to live and how you want to live when you do move into supported accommodation. So we list all of our Specialist Disability Accommodation vacancies on our website, and I encourage you to take a look. We specialise in high physical support apartments, however we do also have some other design categories and some other styles of SDA available there. You can also look at search engine type websites that list from a range of different providers different options you may have, such as Disability Housing or Housing Hub. The first steps would be, aside from knowing what you're looking for, or at least having a vague idea of what you think might be appropriate for you, start talking about it with people who support you with your NDIS plan. This looks different for different people. It might be your support coordinator, your local area coordinator, or your planner. But it's important to let them know so that you can get a goal in your plan that relates to looking for supported accommodation. What this will help with is ensuring that you've got the right funding for someone to assist you with looking for the right property and getting everything in place that you need, but also so that you've got funding for the reports that need to occur in order to support your application for being SDA eligible. SDA is of course a huge topic and it can feel quite overwhelming to start thinking about looking at your supported accommodation options. To learn a little bit more from us and the team here at MS Queensland, give us a ring on 1800 413 717, or you can email us at info@msqld.org.au. We're happy to help support you as best we can in order to reach your housing goals. Thank you for listening.